Greetings, fellow Empyreans. I am Ashtarothi, the voice of New Eden, and this is your New Eden news for November 26th, YC126. Infomorph transport illegality causes Deathless pivot as Trustbreakers attacked. CONCORD ruling means victory for Upwell. CONCORD's inner circle has passed a motion declaring hardware Infomorph's transportation without a legal associated body a violation of the ULI Accords. The decision was celebrated by member corporations of the Upwell Consortium, all of which have been lobbying for the motion to pass. It is based on articles of the ULI Accord introduced by the Jovian Directorate during the founding conference of YC0. These articles were inspired by the one mind, one body principle, a key tenet of Jovian society. According to this principle, a sentient mind must always have a single associated body, and each human body must be associated with no more than one mind. When an encrypted mind is transferred to a physical storage illegally at mercenary dens, its Upwell workforce body is lost. According to Upwell, this means that during the period of transportation, the mind has no legally associated body and is in violation of the ULI Accords. This is different from, for example, war clone transit, in which infomorphs are stored separate from their bodies, but an associated body legally exists. The Jovian Directorate left the CONCORD assembly during the Jovian departure of YC117. As the holders of their seats and critics of the Deathless Circle, the Society of Conscious Thought was delighted by the decision. A founding principle of our shared civilization has been upheld, said Elder Mentor Matashi Reich, the SOCT representative seat holder of the CONCORD Inner Circle. So often is our cluster divided. Let us enjoy this moment and celebrate the essential humanity that unites us all. Legal scholars have expressed some concerns over the hasty ruling. According to Professor of Interstellar Law at the University of Cali, Laura McLintock, today's ruling could be the first step down a slippery slope. Now that transporting stored infomorphs is illegal, it opens up the way for future challenges to backup clones. CONCORD was quick to dismiss this claim when approached, stating that it is false rhetoric to conflate these two entirely different cases. Deathless Circle scrambles to release Merc Den update. Over 4,090 Merc Dens have reportedly been deployed since the designs were first released by the Deathless earlier this month. The Infomorph transportation law directly targets those dens where the extraction and transportation of encrypted infomorphs have been taking place. The Deathless Circle was quick to respond by broadcasting a firmware update to all dens. This update appears to be based on the research into encrypted infomorphs that have already requested passage into the Warden in Zarzak. Following the update, the TEBS suites inside Merc Dens will no longer extract infomorphs onto physical storage and will instead use the same kind of remote transfer employed by capsuleers. This method was previously impossible due to Upwell's restrictive encryption, but now has been unlocked with the usage of infomorph decryption keys. These decryption keys will generate on-site at mercenary dens by non-invasive scans of workforce clones. The keys can then be uploaded to the Warden in Zarzak, allowing it to decrypt infomorphs remotely as they are transferred. This will enable the successful remote transfer directly from the TEBs of any willing infomorph. In addition to upgrading their transfer capabilities, the new firmware has enabled mercenary dens to assign tactical operations. With these changes, the scope expects that New Eden will continue to see den deployment despite Upwell's legal victory. Deathless Trustbreakers attacked. New Deathless Trustbreaker arrays have been spotted throughout pirate fob systems. These sites, which appear to be deployed by the Deathless Wraiths agents, are actively hacking local PDN planetary defense networks. If these networks fail, it would open up planets to ground assaults and manual overriding of terrestrial PDN systems. As such, it is suspected that Deathless's goal is to open up positions from vanguard assaults. Whether these assaults will be carried out on behalf of pirate insurgents or mercenary counter-pirate forces seems to vary widely, with the implication being that both sides of the conflict may rely on the Deathless-developed vanguard war clones. Space-time fluctuations observed by the SOCT initiates indicate that many of these Trustbreakers are under attack from drifter forces, partially caused by a remote link to the Warden in Zarzak. Deathless Wraiths are offering rewards for support at these sites to pro-Deathless capsuleers, but these attacks also create opportunities to those who do not wish to support the Deathless to target and destroy their infrastructure. CONCORD has issued an official statement urging capsuleers to choose wisely and not assist in the slide towards chaos. News in brief. The 10th anniversary of Caroline Star incident marked by a vigil for those who died in Thera. Harada Oki Caravan Master Malaya Harada joins Volakat Caravan leadership and SOE Reverend Mother Sentimona Sarpati at vigil. Surge in black market spirit sales and Mindclash popularity reported following the rise of Merc Dens. Royal Heir Ursira Corazor opens largest ever commoners library of the scriptures on Corazor Prime. Air celebrates creation of over 5,000 corp projects since update launched. Iris pops rare spiced wine vintage at press conference as Capsuleer Cicada Adasic sequence 1000th 2-pattern skin. Equinox Colony insiders leak that equipment theft has escalated to violent raids, attacks by parties unknown. Agency Mercenary Network rumors to have purchased large quantities of Vanguard war clone Canoptics from Deathless Circle. And that is it for your New Eden News for November 26th, YC126. And now for some analysis. As I said earlier, I think that this might actually be an error. I don't think that the ULI Accord happened in YC0. I think it was 2 years prior. I could be wrong. I'd have to go double check. The SOCT are, in fact, the current members of the Concord Assembly on behalf of the Jovian Directorate. This happened in YC117 with the Inheritance Chronicle. And yeah, I'm very confused by this because it feels like there's two different things. First of all, making them illegal, like there's no patch notes, there's nothing about them becoming actually illegal in game. So I'm not sure exactly what this means, but also this stuff about it being broadcasted directly to the warden makes me wonder why we're even having to scoop the encrypted infomorphs out of the mercenary dens in the first place. It sounds to me like the mercenary dens should just accumulate infomorphs and then transmit them directly to the warden without us having to scoop them. So you should just be able to drop a mercenary den and it just start shunting infomorphs towards the warden. Deathless being Concord compliant with the new update. Yeah, I mean, but again, like, this doesn't make any sense because all of this entire post is here, but we're still doing the same thing. We're still putting down a skyhook and then collecting the infomorphs out of the skyhook and then bringing that to the warden, right? Like, it doesn't, I'm not sure where they're going with this. If anybody has an explanation, please let me know. Obviously, the new Trustbreaker array is the sites that are happening during this time. They're called keys now. Wait. Okay, hold on. So if we go to HoboLeaks and we see, you're right, it goes from an encrypted infomorph to an encrypted infomorph decryption key. Got it. So we're just trying to get infomorph decryption keys now instead of infomorphs. Same thing, but different. Encrypted infomorphs have had their base price reduced to 0 and their group ID changed to the same group ID as passkeys, which is commodities, right? No, it turns into, I don't know. That's so weird. They're not changing the size of them either. I don't understand what the point of all of this is, but either way, cool. Special edition commodities. Ah, yeah, but it's like, why go through all of this just to change the name? That's what I want to know. There must be something else coming. I don't know. But in the New Eden News, the other thing is that, like, so there's a vigil in Thera. The Volakot caravan was the caravan that was very tightly associated with Thera and the Caroline or the Apocrypha event. So it is also interesting that Malaya Harada, who is the head of the Harada Oki, which is the Deathless circles, is still welcomed in Thera. And they point out that she's there with the Reverend Mother Santamona Sarpati, which is interesting because the SOE also got called out for receiving the tech from the Deathless. If you remember, we talked about this before. The Deathless created the net resonators. They gave it out to people. The SOE got called out for accepting them, even though Mortis Legion also accepted them. Nobody said a peep about those. Other than that, I think this is all just mostly flavor and looking into the Vanguard stuff that is happening starting this weekend. So I hope that's about it. If there's anything I missed, please let me know down below. But with all that said, this has been your New Eden News and analysis for November 26th, YC126. I am Ash Rothy, the voice of New Eden. And until next time, I'll see you in space.